Yeah?
Yeah, a4 is a good option, but also I can put my knight on b4, for example.
I think we need a technician in here, please. Yeah, could you get them? I'm not sure what's going on. It says we're disconnected. Okay, good. So yeah, and now knight f6. What was your comment one more time? I got distracted by this. After a4 stopping b5, okay, now it's working. It was working perfectly at first, but then it said OBS disconnected, reconnecting.
I think
Good.
The Wi-Fi here is pretty slow, so maybe not issues, but
What?
the Wi-Fi is just a bit slow here, so if there's no.
Oh, okay, it was working fine before. I guess something slowed down, okay. So, sorry, you were saying about a4?
yeah, I think potentially I can put my knight on b4. So
Right.
It's interesting idea to stop b5, but also it's a weakness on b4. So.
Right, exactly. What normal move here would be knight f3? Just let you play b5.
Yes, we can continue development and
Yeah.
let me play b5. b5 is not that scary.
Right, right. And now remember, yeah, this idea, okay, h3, he's just saying you're not going to come out, a5, right. And now knight f3, okay, queen d2, knight a6. And it's good, you're holding back on castling.
Yes,
you
because his idea quite obvious to play bishop h6, g4 or something like that and
Exactly.
create the attack. So I don't need to make castle right here. I can do it later.
Now this move shocked me. I didn't even see a question mark because I think he's playing to castle queenside after you played a4. I thought this was risky.
Yes, maybe he underestimated b5 idea later, because otherwise I cannot create the attack.
It says stop sharing, or should I let it because it's blocking the board? This is blocking the bottom of the board. Can I press stop sharing? I can't see the bottom pieces.
Do you have any issues?
Great, that's great. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, okay, so he did that, and then I was saying during the game, it's sort of setting up a b5 move because he can try to, work on that king while this is loose. And
Yeah.
And meanwhile, he's not castling, and he played h3, not h4, so it's a little bit slow over there.
Yes, and all pieces on the king side still in the same place, bishop, knight, and rook. So he delayed with development.
Yep. And even though you may not be using this rook, he's not really using these pieces.
Yeah.
And his king is over here, so it's weird. You can't, either of you, get all your pieces in. So let's go on. You played this. And the main idea behind this is you're covering d5 more. You could play.
No, I just put my knight in a good place,
Yeah.
and later I can make another decision what to do. Queen c7 or bishop d7. It depends on his moves. I need to see what he wants exactly because he has a lot of options to do.
Right. It's in a good place, and it can't be kicked out without
Yes.
getting c3 in, and he can't really get c3 in.
I would play knight before anyway. So.
Yep. It's where it belongs. So f3.
Yeah, that's a weird place. I mean, you have two pawns, f3 and h3, weakening g3 square. So at some moment I have knight h5, knight g3 idea.
Yep. And so he's going to play g4 next. But
But he could play g4 even without f3.
you could play g4 right away.
Yeah, if you want, you can do. Why not?
Right.
f3, maybe f3. The idea is to defend the pawn on e4. I'm not sure, and move
Yeah.
this knight.
But let's say he did that, it makes a little more sense because he's
Yeah,
making so many pawn moves.
Yeah, I think it's better.
Right. Because you know you're going to come on the queen side soon. So you played f3, and then you played bishop d7.
Yes, my idea is b5.
Even as a pawn sacrifice.
Yes,
Right.
I would sacrifice the pawn. Why not? Opening the c file and b file. Well, actually, also I have the a pawn. I can push it down.
Right. And once you play b5, yes. Once you play b5, take, let's say. Take. Queen can come out or wherever. Right?
Yes, yeah, but I think he shouldn't take on b5 when I go here.
Oh, well, let's see. What did he do? He did this.
Yes, I have to take
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
queen h6.
And now b5.
Yeah, b5. I think it's. Oh no, no.
Oh,
Queen
you didn't
c7
play
at
it.
first.
Queen c7
Yeah,
first.
it's important because after b5 he cannot take it.
Right. Now you
Because
got
of trade,
c2.
yes, yeah.
So in a way, he pulled himself away. It hurts him a little bit.
That's the idea.
Now b5 won't even be a sacrifice. But even if it were a sacrifice in the previous position, would you be prepared to maybe risk castling kingside to get the other rook over? Like,
I'm not sure about
Yeah.
that. First of all, I can make castle. There's the queen, and also, also I think I have enough pieces on the queen side to create something.
right, you have enough pieces already
Yeah.
to create something on this king. All right, so good. Now h4. I mean, you know, he was on h3, but what else can you do now with white? I mean, it's tough, right? Can you play
maybe-
bishop d3,
Maybe bishop c4, bishop b3. I don't know.
bishop c4 to try and just get some defensive pieces over there? Good point.
Yes.
So he might have tried this. Right.
And don't take this pawn. Even if I go b5, don't take it and play bishop b3.
Yes.
I'm not sure how good it is. But
Yeah. We're not sure how good it is, but we're just saying he's trying to minimize some damage here.
so it's hard to say.
And now if he came in here, you just play rook f8, not g8 like before.
Yes, I need to protect f7.
Right. So we're just seeing how, you know, now he's going for the attack, but he's so far behind that it's slow because the king isn't right there. And so let's see what happened here, right? He took? What
Yeah,
sh-
that's the mistake.
Yeah.
He shouldn't take, and I don't know. Probably he was scared about b takes a4 and c5 at some moment.
Yeah. But at least that slows down the opening of the A file for the rook. So maybe knight h3 or I don't know. It's a tough position, but wow, according to the computer, white is a tiny bit better.
Yes, it's like in dragon variation, it's still on
So-
defense.
Interesting. Yes. Yeah.
It's the same like in dragon variation, it's still on defense. You have the attack, but white is still better.
Really? Yeah, because he can't use his other rook yet. So wow. So knight h3 is still, get your pieces going. Don't keep, and don't help your opponent open his lines, even though that captures away from the center of it for you. So cool. So he was still in the game, pretty much here.
Yeah.
But not after that capture, maybe. So what happened? He took.
Yeah, he took and let me open the C file, which is more important than B file.
Now it's totally different game after that one little thing. This was the real final mistake. The Grandmaster Soltis said you need to make 3 crucial mistakes to lose a game.
I was thinking that queen h4 was a mistake, but it's not that bad.
Queen where?
No, not queen, pawn h4, because for me it was like too slow,
Yeah,
but actually it's not.
h4. But actually it turned out it's okay. Interesting. Okay, so here we go. Now we have in the element, the idea could be just a4, a3, undermining this knight, and
Yes, and here
know.
we have a lot of interesting variations. He took on b5. He took on b5.
okay, he did.
Yes, and oh no, he did it later. Okay, rook d2.
So the idea is he wants to walk his king
Yeah,
away.
yes, he wants to take on b5. I played a4.
Yep,
I think I need to push the pawn, knight b5,
yep.
and here queen b7.
Ooh, good. We had left the game. We didn't see this part. This is great. It's getting
and,
exciting now.
The difference between queen b7 and queen b6 that he has knight a3, knight c4, and my queen will be under attack.
He has knight a3, knight c4.
Yeah.
If the queen was on b6.
Yes, and the difference is if I go, for example, queen b6.
If you go queen b6, your original intention, then he has knight a3.
Maybe it's also winning, but at least he has this.
But this knight
tempo.
c4 move is
Yes.
annoying. So you played queen b7. It was a little
Yes.
more accurate, less bother for you.
And also after queen b7, white has interesting option. Queen g7. Queen g7.
Queen g7,
I have to play rook g8.
rook g8.
Knight d6.
Knight takes d6. Oh my, check.
Pawn d6,
Pawn d6.
queen f6, knight
Queen
a2,
f6.
knight a2.
Knight a2 check.
Yes.
And now which way does he go? If he goes that way, you can take that.
Yeah, for example, king d1, queen b2. That was
Right. And if king here, knight c3 check or what?
If king
No.
b1,
King b1, rook b8 or no?
I don't know. Maybe rook b8 should be winning somehow. Or knight c3 a3.
Knight
Or
c3.
knight c3 a3. Yeah. If king b1, knight c3, king c1 a3.
Yeah. Knight.
I can
He's
push.
saying if king b1,
Yes.
the old check.
And king c1, pawn
King
a3.
c1 and pawn a3. And just that little pawn is
Pawn is
going all the
unstoppable.
way to touchdown, as Maurice Ashley used to say. Very, very interesting. And if king d1, you can just take the pawn
Yes,
Is that what you're saying?
I can take or play a3. I'm not sure what's better.
or play a3. Very interesting. So let's see. So that's an interesting variation and a very nice one at that. Right.
Yeah, but it didn't happen in the game.
Right, but you played queen b7, and so this is interesting. You gave up the pawn, and you've just got your open lines for it above that king. And pretty standard stuff, but it's nice because now you're threatening to take that knight,
Yes.
and so he's got to do something about it. c4 would be a logical way to protect it, right? But it opens up your king more. So is that the move he should play, c4?
I don't know. I think this position is already almost winning for black,
Yeah, I mean,
objectively.
I'm trying to think, the computer doesn't even like it at all, but it doesn't have anything yet. It says black's up 3.5 points. Let's just see how it would be smashed for a second. If c4 defending your knight, just bishop takes knight anyway, cracking open the king, and queen. Oh yeah, it can't be recaptured.
Yeah, I think I can take it.
Can't be recaptured because of simply a3.
Yeah, opening the A file.
Or knight takes e4 even.
So many options, right?
Geez, so many options. Wow. Wow, this simple move is curtains. The pieces are flooding in. The rook on a8. The king is still unable, these pieces are unable to come in the way. It's funny, there's no way to defend. This other queen's too far back. And he's got to do something about that pawn. So, I mean, let's just show them for a sec what would have happened. Crash in. And, what are you going to do? I mean, got the queen ready to come in.
Yeah, you cannot even move your queen back.
Yeah. You can't even move your queen back to king b2, and just queen a7 is good enough. And you're just coming in. There's no pieces coming in. This is very kind of... Okay, let's look at the game. So what did he do?
He played...
He came back to a3.
Yeah.
Like you said, the idea knight c4, but now no attack.
So knight a2 is important move.
Knight a2, an interesting move. So again, b2 will hang, so he almost has to go to b1. Knight c3.
Knight c3.
Knight c3 check. Look at this. The knight bounces to the center.
King c1.
And if he goes to a1, what did you have in mind?
Rook b8.
Just simply rook b8.
Yeah, and here if knight c4, I have on bishop b5. So you cannot stop.
If knight c4 to defend b2,
Yes, I think bishop b5 is enough, no? Maybe I'm wrong. I was thinking about bishop b5, but maybe I missed something.
it likes queen takes b2
Oh
check.
yeah, really? Queen b2 and a3. Wow.
Whoa.
I didn't see that.
I know, that's okay. You might have found it at the board though, right? If he played it.
Actually, I found queen b2 in another variation, but not here.
Oh, ladies and
So-
gentlemen, Mirkola Bortnik's Mona Lisa could have happened right here.
Wow.
And look at this, the threat is pawn takes knight mate, and if the knight moves, what
Rook
happens,
B1.
Mr. Bortnik?
Rook b1.
Rook b1 checkmate. So these are the things when you set the stage with all your pieces for a winning position with these open lines, this is the magic that can happen, but it's all because of the previous moves.
Yeah, and the king stand alone without any.
So we found out, so even if Johnson didn't see that, he said, I'm not going that way. He just sensed something,
Yeah.
and he went the other way.
So
And he
king
went back.
c1,
Now the knight, yeah?
King c1, yes, I think it's better. Rook b8 anyway.
Rook b8 anyway, and the move he can't take because rook queen. If he takes, we have the same final position,
No,
not
no,
with the beautiful pawn. What?
no, there's
Oh no,
knight.
sorry.
He actually took on c2. It happened. in
Oh,
the
he
game.
took. This happened.
Yeah, but if he would play knight c4 instead of taking, I think I can go queen b2 anyway. No. Can I?
Now queen b2, the same idea, and a3.
Almost the same. But
Almost the
a3 is also should
Yeah,
be winning.
both moves win.
But he didn't play here. He
Right.
took my knight.
Instead, he took the knight because maybe he can walk to safety. He figures, and
Yeah.
queen b2.
Yes, I have to play queen b2.
You attack both the knight and the king, but
King
you're after
d1.
that king. King d1.
And I took this knight.
And now we have a passed a pawn, but maybe his king is hoping for shelter behind a mountain of pawns. But one of them is about to
In
drop.
this position, I have a lot of threats, like rook b1, bishop b5, rook b1, queen a1, queen c3.
Bishop to
and
d5.
yeah,
Yep,
and-
c3 is just too weak.
I didn't see how to stop all of them.
Yeah, he can't really, queen e3 would strike me as a natural response, but then,
He played queen e3.
yeah. What else? And now check, and the king, and b5, bishop b5 is coming.
No, queen a1, because I'm threatening rook e1 check. Queen a1, and now
Queen a1,
Yes.
very nice, threatening rook.
rook e1 and rook f1.
Right, and now he's resigned.
Yeah, he resigned here.
Wow, that's nice. Did bishop b5 check win too or not? He can play rook d3 or something.
Probably it wins.
So here we are, and that's the game. And so we see what kind of, strategies you need to use to try and win an important game.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot what to play. I even considered to play knight c6 at the first move.
On e4, knight c6.
Yeah, c4, knight c6. I even was thinking about that.
Nimzovich defense.
Yeah, but
e4, knight c6.
yes, but I will made my decision before I come here. So I just decided instead of knight 6, g6 is good enough.
So you decided on g6 before you sat at the board. You didn't wait to see his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I was thinking about everything except c5 and knight f6.
Right, because you played the Alekin against him before.
Yes, and he really well prepared against strong defense.
Yakin.
We could see his games against Nico Chasin and even yesterday's games. So,
And so, well, you ended a really promising run by him towards the championship, and that you show what it takes. So it looks like you're very possibly going to be on board one in the final round.
yeah, it's the most important game is coming.
Yes.
I have no idea who I'm gonna play.
Yeah, well, from the looks of Joseph Zeltsin's game, it looked like he was sewing up a win. He was, according to computer, 3.5 points ahead with a time advantage.
Okay.
But we can quickly take a glance and see what's happened since then against a Gurganidze system.
Yeah.
And he really showed the defects of it here, and here we are. Now his advantage seems to have slipped a little bit. So it's not over yet.
But
So-
even here we see that black pieces on the queen side. So he tries to create some attack, but I think it's too slow.
Yeah, you
because
might
all
find-
files closed.
You might find this interesting because what Zeltsin did was a beautiful pawn sacrifice back here. He did this move. He castled queenside, giving up the a-pawn, which is actually brilliant, unlike Johnson's castling queenside because the things are more closed over here. If knight takes, do you see what his idea was?
I think something like g4
Yes.
to open h file.
Yeah, the idea was to connect the two rooks and play g4, and the position would be totally a mess for black after any move. And it was brilliant, I thought.
Yeah, it's
This was a really creative idea to castle queenside. And his opponent didn't take it after much thought. I kept analyzing this with a lot of people here. He played bishop e6. And now the computer said b3 is the strongest move. Just hold everything solid now. If you ever play c5.
Oh, I like b3 because it stops everything on the queen side.
And then if c5 ever after rook c8, the knight will go to d4. So whatever, g4 can be played. But he chose this, which is also good. And now he gave up the pawn. It's still good. g4. This is what we missed. h4. And now, it
Yeah. Black's problem is bishop and knight, and I don't see how to even use it. I mean, bishop on g7, knight on h6. How to use these pieces?
how can you play with them?
Yeah.
Right, so maybe he should take that. Because this knight is going to be stalemated maybe forever.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't take it. Maybe that's the problem. He didn't take on the e6. So what did he do? He came back.
Oh,
That
why is it
Why
that
would he
bad?
do that?
Oh, why bishop h2 is that bad?
Yeah. And that
Because-
lowered his advantage considerably. Just take on e6, because like we're looking, let's take a look. Right? You've killed this piece for forever.
I think it
No,
can.
it could come back down.
Yes, but even on d8, it's not a great place.
Yeah. It can try to prepare c5, but in
Oh,
the
maybe,
meantime,
maybe in this position can go something like bishop or queen d3 and attack g6.
queen d3
Or
and
bishop
king
g5, I'm
f7.
not sure. Yes, and knight will stuck on h6 because you need to defend the pawn.
Yeah. And now the knight can't go anywhere
Yeah.
else.
So in
And what are you going to do? Play for
in any
play for
blitz
f4?
game, in any blitz game, I would play like bishop g5, f4, f5.
Bishop g5, f4, f5. Just crack. Put a rook on f1. Crack
It's in a blitz game. In classical
blitz
chess,
game.
I would thinking about maybe knight g2, knight h4.
Knight g2, snipping the h4 pawn off.
Yes, or put the knight on f4 as well, because to
Or
attack
put
g6.
the knight on f4. Asking pressure to g6, and he may
Yeah.
not be able to defend it in time.
Yes.
Exactly. Wow. Very nice. Maybe that bishop could have attacked that pawn too. Yeah. So we go back to this very interesting variation. It's useful to have you look at his game here to see what he did. So let's go back. And instead he played bishop h2, and his advantage is lowered. So, well, strange things happens in decisive games. Now he has a chance to save his bishop from, or the pawns, by defending it maybe.
Yes, his idea
Queen
was
b6, didn't like it either.
his idea was f4 probably.
Likes bishop d7, but like what?
I think White's idea is f4.
It seems like it to me. Seems like it to me. Queen b6 instead, prepping c5 perhaps. f4.
Yeah, I think it's everything because you
And
need
now
to take the bishop.
He
and
didn't
stuff.
have a chance to take it. He wants f5. He figures that this pawn would stop f5 maybe. So now he saves it. And now we're still better for white, but it's within not too much. Let's see the time situation we have. 36 minutes to 21. Whose position, what do you think of this position now? How do you assess it?
I still like White's position. I think it's much easier to play.
Yep.
But now you cannot do useless moves because Black really has some counterplay
Right,
on the queen side.
right. But white, of course, can have more pieces in play. Well, he has to get
I mean, you
this in
cannot
play.
simply move like rook f1, rook f2, another rook f1. It's too slow, and Black will do something on the queen side. So
Right. It's funny, you're sort of delicate. You don't want to let these pieces come to life, but then again, you've got to attack him. So you've got to do something
and
like that.
you see, the problem also could be with a pawn. Potentially, it's a passed pawn. a4, a3, a2, and like in my game.
Exactly, that's
The
exactly.
similar
it's great.
construction.
That's why it's great to have seen your game, and you see, well, he's going to go for these same ideas. However, things aren't as open yet. But yes, there's a pawn minus. So here we are, and this is the position, and it's a pretty exciting game. We don't know what's going to happen. A while ago, I picked Joseph Zeltsin to win. Now I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah.
And so that's, who wins that game, probably be your opponent.
No, I played Zeltson before, so I cannot play him again.
Oh, you played him before?
Yes, yesterday we played.
Thank you for, was that last night?
Yes.
Okay, and that was a draw?
Yeah, I barely saved.
We have a question. What's your name again?
The video said it was on screen says.
Oh, please try again. Click to reload. Good. I don't know. We'll have to get the technician in here. I'm sorry about that. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't quite know how to do it, and it's working here. So I'll get the technician. If someone wants to get the guy, that's fine. So let's see what's going on here now. So that means you won't play him. So there's a chance you might play the Raja maybe, or something. Let's see what's going on in that game. Board 3. Let's go back a few moves just because we've been I think this was the dragon variation and a lot has happened. We saw this sort of strange move order. Rook A4, E6, Knight B4, Knight E5. Interesting, avoiding the trades. Both players avoiding a trade. Knight D3, Bishop C6, Rook B4, Knight D3, Queen D3, D5. The break.
It's a huge compensation for a pawn. Black down a pawn, but I think it's a huge compensation.
White's down a pawn, but he has
No. Black down a pawn.
black's down a pawn. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge compensation. Because of the centralized king. And
And also d5 is a really great move because you open like everything, and I don't know, can I take it? But there's knight d5, so no, probably cannot.
that's what every Sicilian player looks for, that D5. So white often tries to play E5 and bottle him up, but there'd be a big attack on a lot of weak squares if E5.
Okay, this position I would play with black color.
You would play what?
With black color,
You would play with the black color?
yeah.
Yeah. You would prefer to play with the black color, or you've actually gotten into
No,
position?
this position.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, this king is here. That's one of the reasons. Even if he castled here, he's a little open, and there's airy, and there's a lot of weaknesses. This bishop isn't so solid. I think he's going to take, probably, but then he's got a castle.
Oh, I don't think taking is a good
No,
idea because
no.
of knight d5.
Knight d5, exactly.
And it's unclear what to do with the rook.
Yep. This rook is misplaced right now.
I mean, if e takes d5, knight d5, rook c4, bishop b5. So,
Interesting. Do you think he plans to put his rook on b6? Do you think that was his plan? I think that's his plan. I don't know. I mean, where else are you going to go? It's going to get trapped there, though. So he's going to have to sack an exchange.
yeah.
So maybe, what do you think white should play? Bishop e3? No, then this drops.
It's hard to say. I don't
Hard
see.
to say.
I don't see any really good move which like helps to develop something. Like I cannot castle probably.
Maybe knight here?
Knight d4. What if I take? Oh no, I cannot take. Wait.
Yeah, knight d4.
Yeah. I was thinking at first d takes e4, but probably white has knight c6.
Amazing. If d takes e4, knight takes c6, hitting the queen, and it's a queen trade. So wow, hey, this may save white. According to the computer, well, we don't know if it's right. It's pretty close. The bishop must move, and maybe this is the only move.
Yeah, probably.
So good. So this game, black appears for choice here. So we don't know who you're going to play yet. It's exciting. Let's see, and we go to here. Hasn't moved, and we look at the panorama here. There's only, what do they have on this board? They have 3 points each on this board. So I guess there's still possibilities if they draw on that board. Who knows who you'll play? So,
I can play when somebody from
Okay,
this
you play
game
here.
also.
and this was a king side fianchetto with d4 where black played b5 because white neglected to play c4. So it was like almost a Catalan, but white didn't get to play c4 till later. It looks like white's okay anyway now.
Yeah, I think white will take eventually the pawn on c4.
Yep, and I'm not sure that
Even
great-
bishop d3, queen d2, you cannot just defend it.
Bishop d3.
I think queen d2.
What, for white?
No,
Queen
yeah,
d2?
yeah, bishop d3, queen d2.
So first queen takes. Oh, bishop d3.
No, bishop d3, black's turn. Yeah, now queen d2, bishop f1. I think we need to take it, and rook f1 probably. And I don't see how to.
It's going to be hard to
Yeah,
hold on to.
if queen d5, queen e2 probably, or it's hard to say.
Tempted to want to stick a knight on b4 and at least do something with a knight, maybe. Look at the b4
But do you
square.
have a time for that?
Huh?
But do you have a time to play
Maybe
knight
not.
before?
I don't
Probably
know. I don't know. In the meantime, knight coming to e5 to take that, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
and it's easy to make moves like queen e2, bishop d2, rook c1, or knight e5.
Yep. It's a pretty rigid structure, unless he can play c3 or something, but it's no time to do that maybe. He could have played c3 a few times and the computer wanted them to get to, but earlier he just kept neglecting to. Okay, so let's refresh. So there's that board with 3 points each, and now we should even look at a different board because I've neglected a lot of the lower boards in my analysis here. How about this board, which is Brewington Hardaway, 3 points each versus Zachary Tannenbaum, the defending champion. Did you play last year?
No, I didn't play.
All right.
And
Well, this is the defending champion, has white here, I believe. No, has black here. And we sort of, when we took this position up, we were in this position. Hold on, I just want to show it because I was saying how this position, I thought he would play king e7, yeah. And I thought, how are they going to create stuff here? I guess the bishop came back after a knight b5. Knight came to d7. He took, which is always double-edged there. Oh, it said e4 was a mistake to crack open the game because of the structural problem. What do you think?
yeah, I agree. I think you can play like slowly. Maybe
How would he use this bishop? Well, there's an attack here.
I know in such type of positions you can play a4, a5. Like when knight stand on b6, you can push a pawn, and
Standard positional idea.
yes, and it's unclear where to move my knight from b6.
Right. And if he plays a5, there goes the b5 square.
Yeah, if
which
he plays
doesn't have.
a5, it creates a weakness on e5,
Yeah.
and they can attack it.
And
after
this
knight
is
b4.
coming, and where's he going? Exactly. I wondered why the bishop came back to b8, because it was normally here, which could have, oh no, that's why this rook always covered that square. Interesting, but before a4, there was a chance for this bishop to come here, and
Yeah,
I wondered,
I understand why he played e4. He wants to open position
Yeah.
because of two bishops. But I think in this moment, you don't need. You can play slowly and wait for opponent's mistake.
and what you're doing is you're giving black that d5 square to
Yeah.
use with his knights.
An isolated pawn.
And that's the problem, you're suddenly giving black this play that he didn't have, right? So, he just came back and didn't take it. Wow.
I think it's also good.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So I would play e5 though. I don't know. Yeah. Back. All right. You'd rather do that than use the bouncing point here. You think this is good for black too? You wouldn't have
No,
taken
not that good. I will in my game if I played it, I would take on e4.
Yeah.
But maybe it's also quite.
Yeah, this is certainly a interesting way to think. Yeah, I would have taken it myself. Because even after this is a weak pawn. And this is a nice square. Knight comes here, here. This escapes the a4 idea. So this is what I would have done anyway. It still likes white a little bit in all positions. But
No, white basically cannot be worse in any position.
can what?
White cannot be worse
Right.
in any position.
And I
so-
see the idea of this, though, to cramp that piece for now, though it can come back out here. But the question is, where is this knight going to go? Back here? Up again?
Maybe trade everything on the c file.
Right, right. And then end up down there.
Anyway, this game like for two results for now. If white wins or the draw,
White wins or draw.
I don't see how black can even win this game.
White is playing for 2 results.
Yes, it's two results game.
Because of his space advantage.
Yeah,
And his better
and
pawn
two bishops.
structure.
Yes, and also you can try to push the h pawn, for example, later.
Right. In fact, maybe black should have kept the rooks on to keep that pressure. I don't know. No?
hard to say.
Hard to say.
Yeah, so it's this game for 2 results.
So interesting. White is playing for either a win or a draw. It's going to be very hard to lose this. And because he's got the 2 bishops as well.
Yes, I mean, you can improve your position. You can put your king on e3, bishop on d3.
Bishop check right away might be a good maneuver. Just get in the field there. And then
The only problem is pawn on d4. If black can move, no, for example, knight c8, knight a7, knight c6, bishop a7. Yes, I mean, knight c8, knight a7, knight c6.
Knight a7, knight c6.
Yes. Maybe that's the plan, and play
And
bishop a7.
I see what you mean. That's why it's important for this king to get up there, protect it, because that's the weakness of the pawn structure as white in a French defense endgame sometimes. Yeah. Interesting.
That's going to be a plan for black.
All right, so that's another, and there's another board with a 3-pointer on it. The next board.
So we have 4 boards.
Yes. And now this board, where black has 3 points, so black could end up with 4 points, Brian Weiss. And according to this, white has just made a blunder and played knight f5. And let's see what goes on here. Knight f5. So they're saying he should have...
It's hard to play with white. Because
Yeah.
we have 2 central pawns.
Yeah. Look at the space advantage conferred by black. This started out as a Schliemann Ruy Lopez.
Oh, that was the real Lopez?
Yeah, believe it or not. Why don't you take a look at the beginning and see what you think? Because white seemed to get into difficulty.
Oh, this line. Okay.
I used to play the Berlin Classical with knight f6 and bishop c5 quickly.
All I know about this line is the knight c3 is probably the
That's
best
what he
move.
did.
Take, knight f6, queen e2, d5, yeah. Oh, queen e7, okay.
Queen e7 and
I was thinking d5 is the main line. Maybe I'm wrong.
d5.
Yeah, d5, knight f6, gf, d4, e4. I think that's the main line, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe you're right. He goes here. They give castle, d5.
Or
excellent.
d5 here.
Knight takes. And now the computer likes d4.
But I think it's a good decision by black for the game. When you need a win to play such openings, it's a great decision.
And now here. Knight h4 and f5. And now g3 I was suggesting. Stops f4, knight can come to g2 again.
Yeah, g3
But
makes sense.
But this was the mistake. Check. Which allowed black to be better after this. Because now g3 won't be playable, as playable as it was. Because if takes and he can't retreat now because of like f4, right? And bishop e7 or other moves.
Yeah, white, he gave a time to black for development. After queen f7, king f7.
Yeah.
You need to play g3 anyway, I believe.
But now
Or maybe his idea was
But now
after.
you can't really, because if you play
Oh,
g3...
the pawn on d4 is under attack, yeah, I
Oh,
see.
yeah, exactly.
But maybe his idea was to play f3 at some moment. Not here. You need to defend the
That,
pawn.
and it happened, exactly. So here's what happened. But, g3 right away was just a good move. Now, he played f3, that's his idea.
Okay.
Maybe he's still okay because of but he moved his king, and g3. But 2 bishops, right? Maybe now...
2 bishops, but this bishop is not that great on e6.
True.
Yesterday I also had 2 bishops and it was worse. So.
I have to see that game. And then he took. Okay, he's still doing good. Shoot, it was later he made the mistake. c5, knight f5, saying it's a mistake. Wow, so it's that hard to do. You can't play
I think
that.
it's a mistake because of rook f8, or why it's a mistake? Yeah,
Yep,
it's because
rook
of rook
h
f8.
f8.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think white needs to
Oh.
keep 2 rooks on the board.
How about knight g2, e3? Oh no, then this is hanging. Sorry, he's got to play c3, right?
Yeah, so c3, and later you can play rook h6 even.
And rook h6
Yeah,
to maybe get 2 rooks on the 6th rank.
yes, that's the idea.
Yeah, while you
I think
double.
I think it's the most important thing. You need to keep 2 rooks on the board. That's the reason why knight f5 is a mistake.
Wow, just because you need to keep those rooks, otherwise the power you have and control is gone.
Yeah,
So the rook h6 would have been an interesting move after.
yeah. I
whatever.
like rook h6, rook f6, and later I don't know, maybe knight g2, knight f4, or something
So
else.
interesting. Knight g2.
Yeah, so
knight
h6
f4.
is a weakness. h7 pawn on h7. Yeah, it's a huge weakness, and probably I need to keep my rook on h8.
Very interesting. So yeah, this is getting tough now. All right, let's refresh. And sure enough, here's what happened. We're in this position now. And white's doing okay again, it looks like.
No, it cannot be that good
No.
for white. I mean, with such center, it's impossible.
Oh God, no. Yeah. Whew. Yep.
The question is, can we build a fortress with the knight?
Right.
Probably not.
Probably not. This is a very fearsome duo, and this could be weak. These could be weak. So he's got to go rook f8, bishop e6, something like that. If he trades rooks,
Yeah,
that bishop knight ending looks good.
white has to play rook f8. It's the only move.
Yeah. So that's what's probably going to happen. Well, and that's the last board with 3 points on it. So meanwhile, we can see what's going on in board 2. Any new developments? He played f4, f5, just to see what happened. What? Okay, good. Oh, just e6, battening down the hatches. Wow, didn't like that at all. Said you should take on f5.
Yeah, black needs to find a counterplay,
Yeah,
and
and by taking on f5, you can get your pieces out.
yes.
Oh.
What is the idea of f5? I'm trying to find.
G takes, knight takes. Yeah, the computer's giving a line. What do you want? G takes, knight takes, bishop g4.
Can you make castle? In case.
Right now?
I mean, later, for
You
example.
want to look at a move?
No. It's important to have a castle here, I think, for black. Therefore, you can take on f5. I mean, if I try to create something on the king side, you can go to the opposite side, like castle queen side, for example.
True. True. Wow, let's see what we have here. Cruxian Lang beat Camilla Sharuta. Okay. Got a Leaf Pressman game. Yeah, I did. You saw that, right? I checked it. Looking rough for Leaf right now in that end game. What do we have here? So here we are, and 17 minutes for Joseph Seltzen's move. So wait, so because he didn't take on f5.
Yeah, he didn't take. He played e6.
So here we are. Oh, he took.
Okay.
So I guess if you play f6, just bishop f8, c5 is coming, right? So you take.
Yeah, it's a good decision. Take.
And now just put a rook on f1. Stopping.
Or queen d3 and attack the pawn.
Queen d3. Interesting.
How to stop queen g6.
Yeah. Queen d3.
Maybe I don't need this pawn. Maybe it's not that important.
Then he castles queenside.
Yeah, that's what I said
You,
before.
just like you said, let him come in, the rooks could come over. But still, that's a decent move.
Yeah, it's important to have such option like castle.
Right. And then...
But if you castle, you cannot create a real attack on the queen side.
Right, if you castle queenside.
Yeah.
No matter what, even if you had time for king b7 and rooks, I don't know, there's no really place to put the king. But see what they're suggesting? They're suggesting a rook to f1, knight g2, f4, like sort of one of those ideas you were saying. Huh? So he's probably going to play a rook to f1. Now we can check another one. Whatever you feel like doing. If you feel like, Stevie, you can go have lunch if you want, whatever. You know.
Soon I will go.
Yeah,
Guess.
we enjoy having you here, though. So let's see what's gone on here in those last moves. Just let's see some of them, right?
Oh, he decided to give up the exchange. That was the position?
And we were looking at knight d4,
Knight
right?
d4, right.
We thought that was only move. He played what I said, rook b6, which is going to have to sack
Yeah,
an exchange.
he decided to sack
Yeah,
the exchange.
and now bishop b5, exclam. So the idea is, wow, encircling. Rook takes, right? Oh, but he also got castled. Yeah, he was castled. Should we have stopped in between, or is this okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, let's see what happens. Queen c7. Now we've got a centralized king that really needs to castle. So it looks like whatever happens, he's got a castle. But he's going to lose this c2 pawn. And the rooks are going to come.
And I don't think you can go c3. It should be something like knight c3 or I don't know.
What? What move do you suggest for white?
I mean, for white you cannot play c3.
Oh, yes.
There's rook b8 and knight takes c3, so a lot of tactics.
Yeah.
But what else?
Yeah, you can't get away with
Queen
this.
e2 looks interesting to simply defend the pawn. That's the important pawn. You cannot simply give up it.
Right.
Yes.
Bishop e4. I mean, well, no, you can't really get away with it. So maybe queen e2. I don't know.
All right, it's interesting what happened. I will go. I will go. So it's
You'll go?
interesting. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bortnick.
Yes,
Good job.
thank
We're
you.
looking forward to an exciting final round.
Yeah, that's most important round, and probably it's must-win round.
Right, so what's your game plan? You'll probably have the white pieces? Or
Not sure
guaranteed?
because I played twice with white before. So
You played who?
I played 2 times white. I played Liam.
Oh, all right. It may, yeah, it depends, exactly.
Yes.
That's right.
So I'm not sure who will be my next opponent. Because if Joseph wins the game, he also could play against this guy with black pieces. Because we both have 4.5 and we cannot play each other. So I have no idea.
Right, right.
Yes,
Well, you
like-
can look and try to figure it out, I guess.
Yes.
It's still complicated.
So it's hard to say.
All right.
I'm not sure even which color I have.
Well, we
white,
won't-
white or
we'll-
black.
Well, we'll let you keep your actual strategies a little private so
Okay.
no one knows.
Okay.
Good luck, and I look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, here we are checking out this exciting game. We're lucky to have one of the top players in the tournament come by and share his thoughts on a lot of games. And we come to Zeltsin, and Joseph Zeltsin has put his rook on f6 and sacked an exchange to break through. Wow. Zeltsin is creating chess, I don't know. I mean, wow. To me, that looks like he's, Oh, because the dark square bishop comes to life. Interesting. I would almost expect a counter sacrifice of e5 after taking that rook or something, you know? All right. Good. See you later. Yeah, I'm wondering about this. Rook DE8, he didn't take it. Sorry. Okay, so he didn't take it. All the computers are saying he should take it, but white's still better. So he goes rook E8, that's even worse. Now rook's going to take on G6. Okay. I was behind the move a little here. Sorry about that. Oh, well. Yeah, you should definitely take that rook. I mean, what, you know, just take the rook and, you know, you gotta, you know, you can't just let that monster sit there. And, you know, the bishop, the dark square bishop is a monster now. You know, you get it, and still, what's going to happen here? I mean, how do the other pieces of white's come in? You defend the pawn on f6 or not? Queen d3 hits the g6 pawn. If rook f6, you just play bishop e5 maybe? Interesting. Really creative game. Zeltsin is entertaining us so much with his moves. So, look at this. Very interesting. Queen d3, king b7. Let's say queen d3, rook takes f6 for fun and see what the idea is. Bishop e5. No. Oh my. I was falling asleep. Mate. Oh my. Look at that queen d3 move. What a killer. Pretty nice, right? Oh my, now that is sweet. So that's Zeltsin's beautiful idea. He can't take the f6 pawn with his rook because of a mate threat with queen d3. Oh, this is beautiful. Queen d3, look at that move. And if rook takes pawn, a doubled, quick, beautiful checkmate with the two bishops. Absolutely astounding. So Grant Zoo's going, I don't want no part of this, but Zoo is definitely, you know, worried here. Now rook takes g6, bishop f8, and now, okay, look, we're even material. And black is going to play c5 and get his own counterattack, but his king is right over there. And I just can't see it as working because, again, we have a drafty king. The bishop is waiting on h2, but now it's not even going to get in the game for a while, but still, white's position is tremendous, even though even material. Just come to the F file, get all your rooks around there. I'm going to penetrate, and I guess knight g2, f4 is an idea. King b1 can be played, but no, not king b1. Then something like knight c3 check would work. Jesus, that would be a blunder. Right? Interesting. Just to show you, white should not play king to b1 because of a move like knight c3 check. Bye-bye. This would be a horrible blunder immediately. We'd have the beautiful boom. And that's pretty sweet. Let's go back. So let's just, here we are. All right, cool. You guys? All right, good. Oh, Chloe's here. Did Chloe have a win?
Yeah.
So good. I gotta say, I've been concentrating on a lot of the top boards, but maybe you're making it to the top now. What board were you on?
7.
Board 7, so it looks like you're moving up. Excellent. I'm Nathan Resica.
Hi, I'm Chloe.
Pleasure to meet you, finally.
Yeah.
Chloe Gal, is it?
Gaul.
Gaul. I thought it was Gaul.
Yeah.
And then I heard people say Gal, so
No,
I said,
yeah.
I don't want to make it sound like coleslaw, right? I'm sorry, but yeah, it was bad, not a bad joke. But what I mean is great. Now I was saying it right. Okay. And I know you've been doing really well in a lot of tournaments lately, so Now we can go to your game. We have some exciting stuff going on with this Zeltsin game. But we'll get back to it because it's not going anywhere. What? Okay, now I got to find the Marshall Championships. Maybe you can help. No, it shouldn't be too hard, right? Edward Lasker Memorial. Great. You know who Edward Lasker was?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
That's
He
right.
was a doctor, and he lived to be almost 100. He was practically a grandmaster. No relation to Emmanuel Lasker. Okay, now let's go to your board then. We have, which game is that? Here?
It's the one above.
This one,
No. To the left.
to the
Yeah, that
left.
one.
All right, let's go back and we'll just, you were black in
Yeah.
this versus Carter Ho,
Yeah.
solid master. So he would be favored in this game. So you had, your stuff going against you here is powerful. And here we have one of the most exciting openings in the world. The Sicilian defense can't go wrong. He decides to take you on in an open Sicilian. And what do we have? The classical variation. So good. I kind of like this for black in that it gets the pieces out. It doesn't move as too many pawns. Good. Okay, you play the sharpest variation, threatening to double the pawns. He says, okay, you're not going to double my pawns, and now do that. A6, okay, these all Sarah, bishop D7. And now what? F4, yes, you won.
Yeah.
Good, you can show us the moves that aren't there yet. B5, interesting. Interesting, so then take, now this looks like standard theory, right?
Yeah.
Now look, he has to take, he can't take with his queen
Well,
now.
I'm black, so.
Right, you
it's-
can't take this now, right? Oh, you're black.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't take this way, right? Because of
E5.
this move, right? And if takes this move
Yeah.
with mate on D7. Nice, I just wanted to show some of this stuff. Nice, so you're black, sorry, thank you
Yeah.
for reminding me. You know why? Because it's reversed, where you're sitting over here and we're sitting on white's end. But that's okay, we gotta remember that. So it takes, right? And now, cool, we're looking at, you let him damage your pawns, right? Well, we all know why this is done.
Yeah.
You control a lot of the center, you've got two bishops, but, and endgames will favor you.
Yeah.
Because of your,
Bishop pair.
yeah, the bishop pair, center control, but he's got to try and work against your king. Okay, king B1, right? Standard idea, right? I don't know why this Stingray guy's here is saying. Can Eugene, Chloe is going up 60 points right now, says, have a great experience. Do you know who that is?
No, do you?
No.
Okay.
These people are all new to me, but
Yeah.
some of the names are great. We got have a great experience right now is the only one we see. Someone's nickname is I will checkmate your soul.
Oh, I think that is have a great experience. You might have changed their name, right?
That's funny.
Oh, they have multiple accounts, yeah.
What?
Yeah, because the last, I'll check with your soul. There's this guy asking about his personal life.
Okay, you can't tell me who that is, right?
And we don't know who it is.
Okay, good.
I don't know who it is. But
Okay, they're going to be
the other
interesting.
guy in the chat was asking that.
Can Eugene and Alex Katz do an interview? Well, it's possible. So let's see what's going on. Let's get to the meat of this game. Queen B6, yep. I sort of admire the classical Sicilian myself,
Yeah.
It gets those pieces out, right? Unlike the Najdorf,
Yeah.
right? What do you think? Why do you choose it?
I mean, it's something I've been playing for a while, so, I mean, I've, had my previous games, haven't been that, I guess, usually I've had trouble in the classical Sicilian, but, I mean, I guess it's a nice opening. I like to, try to attack and,
But why do you choose it, let's say, compared to the Najdorf Sicilian, which is considered the very best?
I mean, I've actually never played the Najdorf, so, I mean, I think I played the Dragon, the Accelerated Dragon for a while, and when I was, probably under 2000, and then I just started playing the classical, and, yeah, I mean, I've always been comfortable with it, so.
Then you like the sort of unbalanced pawn structure and playing with bad structure just to get the counterplay.
Yeah.
Because with me, I like it maybe because compared to the Najdorf, because against the Najdorf, any move is okay for white. Almost any move works. So you got to work so much to look at. Whereas if you're classical, a lot of moves aren't good for white against the classical. They can't play every move. There's too much pressure on him. So you sort of bishop g5 is the only real way. So maybe there's a little less for you to learn and memorize. And that's one of the advantages I like. But great to hear your opinion on it. So you like playing this unbalanced game. All right, knight takes. Is that a normal move in this?
Yeah, this is theory, so.
Okay, take, right? Your bishop improved. Not going to complain about that. F5, all right. And I think you're going to like castle queenside maybe? I don't know. Oh, B4 first, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't end up castling queenside like usually in the game. Like, the theory is like, yeah, what happened like knight e2 and then e5 and
Yeah, I get it. Oh, because you can't, right, of course, you can't play E5 here because the knight goes to D5. So first you kick the knight away,
yeah.
goes back, and now E5. And now that knight is not getting to that square.
Yeah.
Very important strategy. Knight here. So what's the big deal if this is weak, if he can't use it, right?
Yeah.
So they got to go against your king side and pawns. And sometimes it's fun. They get a pawn, but in the meanwhile, you get an attack.
Yeah.
Feel free to add anything, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so I guess here knight h5 was a threat, so h5 is like normal.
Yep, normal.
Stop.
What else is good about it? You stop knight h5.
I mean, I also like threatened bishop h6.
Ooh, yes. Good
Yeah.
thing his king is over there.
Yeah.
So you're gaining space. Maybe you'll play there. Of course, that might lose this pawn. So you've always got that as an option. You've gained some space. If he ever pushes this pawn, then this file becomes a little weaker.
Yeah.
See? So, good. I remember I did play this at the World Senior Championship with black. And I had a game where I was better. The guy offered a draw. He was 200 points higher. I probably should have played on. But I got comfortable games with black in this line. So h4, he did it. So now you could use the g file later maybe, but not right now.
Yeah.
So any comments here? You're giving that away?
Yeah, this is style theory, so queen takes d6. He didn't play queen takes d6.
You play rook d8?
Yeah, rook d8, and then, so you actually can sack 2 pawns, and it's actually still like a game. So like queen takes d6.
Let's look at it.
Okay.
You're prepared to give up a pawn
Yeah,
and go into an endgame.
yeah, rook d8.
You have to, look, first of all, she has to play, and now she can't take on f6 because of mate.
Yeah.
So they have to trade off. Trade. And that's what I'm saying. Go. What do you say about this endgame?
I mean, there's a bunch of moves for white. Like white can play knight takes h5.
But look, then you get the e4.
Yeah, but also there's also like a move with king e7 that I've tried.
King where?
After knight takes h5 with king e7.
Knight takes a5. Oh, you stop that first.
Yeah.
So you don't want to give that up. So after knight, there's a variation here you've studied. Knight takes h5, king e7, knight back or what?
Usually bishop d3 to defend e4.
Right. And now, even though, now I'm remembering from years ago. Now I'm remembering this variation. You're down 2 pawns,
Yeah.
but you have a fine position. What do you think?
So here, like rook g8 is a move, and after g3, it's like there's a lot of ways black can play after that, but like the main things like the knight on h5 is trapped, and
Yeah.
so it's like hard for white to get the knight out. So it's,
Oh, absolutely sweet. So, but let's say, for instance, and he can't play rook g1 because of bishop e3.
yeah,
But then you still, the complications are a bit dizzying. Let's say, my idea would be, what if you tried rook g1? What was your plan?
yeah, rook g1, bishop e3.
Rook e1.
I guess I can either play like bishop f2
Right, very important.
or take
Because
on
you don't
g2.
want to play bishop anywhere else, because then rook e2.
Yeah, or I can take on g2 because like can't take on e3 because of rook g1.
Because of mate. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so that's all fine. And you've got good play, you can get behind that pawn. So what I want to say and add to your beautiful play here to remind me of this variation is that, Chloe, you've seen this before, this variation. It's not like you thought of it at the board, right?
No, yeah.
Me too. And you know, I got it from Mihai Marin, who taught a tutorial in this. And what we're learning about chess in this is that you're giving up 2 pawns to go into an endgame. And that sort of really takes a lot of study to learn what you get in terms of compensation. So that what we learned in this little segue here is that you can even be better in an endgame, or at least not worse, down 2 pawns with this dynamic play. The 2 bishops, notice how this bishop is ugly blocked in, the knight is off sides. So, you know, it's just really interesting about chess, how these things trade off each other. So what you're showing here is some very good preparation, making me think your opponent might have been better off playing some strange move order and not going into a mainline Sicilian against Chloe.
Yeah.
But he had to learn the hard way. All right, let's go back here and see what happened. All right, so he didn't take the bait. In other words, he knew his stuff too. Okay, so the work wasn't over yet. He's not going to grab these morsels you're feeding him.
Yeah.
So in other words, he's not hungry enough yet. He's staying back and playing. Is that a move?
Yeah, it's a move. I mean, I haven't really gone a lot of games with it, but yeah, it's a line.
Because I'm thinking you better know a line here. What's the main line?
Usually queen takes d6 is like is the line, like is the main line for white, and yeah. I mean,
Right, so that's the main line. So if he doesn't do that, he does this, okay. But if this isn't a main line, this is good for you. Let's see what you did. Standard, right? Solid. I know we've seen classic games where this is smashed open by sacrifices, but it looks like it's not going to happen here then. The queen's on e2. h5 is sort of a poison. I mean, does he really want? He could take that now, right?
Yeah.
And that's certainly an idea. Maybe he should. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Okay. And now one of the ideas is to sack here, rook d6 check, pop the king around. So you just played rook c8.
Yeah.
No nonsense. So you're not afraid of knight f6 here. It probably just brings you to life. I mean, you can just pop back and attack his rook. He's down a lot of pieces. Doesn't look like it works. He goes g4. Standard idea. His knight is now protected. Maybe he'll sack a pawn back with g5.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the ideas is takes and g5. Right? The
Yeah.
fourth trick?
Yeah, it is.
So what did he do?
I made
What
a
did-
mistake here. I wasn't
Yeah?
like I was calculating here. I wasn't sure exactly like the main I guess the main lines. So I mean, yeah, I saw bishop e3, but I thought like queen f3, and that was like okay for him. So I tried bishop a4.
Right.
And I saw b3, bishop b5, queen g2, and bishop e3. I thought that would be okay, but yeah,
Right, so good. So he'll never have time for this shot yet, at least.
yeah.
But what did you think was an improvement for you without looking at the engines? What was your intention you think was better?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like bishop e3, I guess could have been an okay try.
Actually, there are a few games with Queen E3.
Queen E3.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, we have a grandmaster mentioning that Grandmaster Raja points out queen e3.
Yeah, I looked at queen e3.
You looked at it, I'm sure.
I wasn't sure if like queen takes a6, like what the theory was. Like,
Queen e, you're right, that's the trouble. You have a position where you should be able to now think for yourself, hopefully, but maybe it's still too sharp.
yeah, the
yeah.
computer says queen c5. I didn't see queen c5, so I wasn't.
Queen c5, but I understand. I mean, you know, it's like your king's a little more open now. I'm not sure what's going on. And you played queen e3 to come back to queen c5. So it's
Yeah.
like I can understand that not being a very human way to think. Though there is pressure on c2 now.
Yeah.
And that queen could get stuck out there. That's a very odd thing to see, but they're liking white's chances anyway. So what else could be played here, though? The computer likes bishop e3.
Yeah, I guess I thought like queen f3 or
That
queen g2. Like, I guess.
right, queen f3, but still, this sidesteps the knight f6 idea.
Yeah.
And the idea is to get the bishop over there for under attack. Very interesting. I mean, we're definitely. I'm not sure what's going on here. This is a dangerous position for both sides, seems to me. Okay, let's see what happened, because whatever you did
Yeah.
ended up working. So you softened his side up, though he does like to play. If he can get a bishop on c4, he likes to play b3.
Yeah.
But he's a far way from doing that now. So let's see what happened. Goes b3, bishop b5, here. Now I guess you want to keep your bishops, that's the thing. But if he takes, you can open the A file with b takes. Was that your idea?
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I didn't think taking on b5 was good for him because. Yeah, a
Because
takes
you
and
take with the A pawn.
a2's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what I love about pawns, you know. You get this, on purpose take a bad pawn structure because you see the death coming for him on the A file. You see? So he didn't take. He played knight g3, but the computer likes him playing rook h3. That looks like a nice move. Covering,
Oh, yeah.
you know. But it really likes knight takes f6. Let's just look. This is shots I'm always worried about. Wow, it likes knight takes f6
King
because,
takes
huh?
Yeah.
Let's
I
take a
didn't-
look.
Yeah, king takes g5, king e7.
Whoa, it just likes to bury that rook
Yeah.
on f8. Jeez, it still likes you though. It still likes you. So, you know, I can understand him not wanting to do that. It's a,
I mean, it's
You know
hard to
what-
go for because it's
Huh?
only like it's hard to go for because it's the pawn
Yeah.
for a piece, so it's not.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to go for, and you're still slightly better according to this, but chaotic position like that, we don't know if it's human playable for which side.
Yeah.
Which side is easier to play in that position? After that knight piece sack, which side do you think is easier to play, Grandmaster?
I think knight f6 is very inhuman. I don't
Yeah,
think I would
yeah.
consider it.
Right, only when you're winning the bishop on h6.
Yeah, I think knight f6 is too much in my opinion.
Yeah, so let's see what happened. He goes queen g2, bishop e3, knight g3 was a mistake. He should have played rook h3, knight g3, okay, but he pulled back from his threats. And now that gives you a chance to start doing stuff. And rook c6, the computer liked rook c3 even better. But rook c6 doesn't strike me as too bad. They're going to double rooks. Wow, I mean, yeah, one little retreat, and all of a sudden, you can see how white can start using those pieces. So here he goes, g5. You probably just don't react and just
Yeah.
double.
I just. Yeah.
Right. You may take, after you take, you may not take back, you may take back. C4, triple question mark, double. Well, it says rook h2 is a very strong move
Yeah.
because, you know, queen for two rooks, definitely solid. It's funny.
Yeah, because I guess rook h2, and then after, if I take on c2, then queen takes, rook takes seems okay.
Right?
So-
He's okay. Yeah. But C4, and I guess we're going to get en passant, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you forgot that rule. Just kidding.
I think so actually.
Just kidding. No, once, I got to tell you a little story segue. I was playing, I won't say the name of the player, but now a pretty well-known player. And they were very young. And I was in a winning position, and I had a pawn on like f6. And they tried to go g7, g5. No, wait. I played like,
f5.
yeah, no, they took en passant when they weren't allowed to. They had played f6, and I reacted g5 winning. And they took it en passant when I was away from the board, thinking maybe I wouldn't notice. Yeah, I just said, you can't do that. Anyway, you know, it's just a humorous segue. So, yes, so it takes en passant. And there we go. And now, well, what he thought he was doing was blocking your pieces
Yeah.
out and killing their play. But it seems like your forced move, queen c2 now, is not, the queen is not an ideal blockader,
Yeah.
as we know. I'm speaking in generalities. All that matters is what really is happening here. So what do you think now?
Yeah, I mean, here I was pretty comfortable. I thought, like, yeah, c4, I didn't expect c4. I thought it didn't seem that good in the game. And, like, yeah, I found a5. I thought I could try to open up the queen side. Like, I was comfortable here, yeah.
You felt comfortable that he had to pull his queen back too and
Yeah.
do that. I mean, so now a5, right? You don't even need to worry about opening the a file anymore. But you're going to open it even if he does trade bishops or not. So knight h5 now. You took. He played f6. Okay, you king. Nice exclam. You don't want to go over there. You're safe in the center. Very nice, cool-headed move. Where do you go? It's very important. Where are you going to go? If you go the other direction, maybe you're okay too, but it's not as strong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, king f8, I just thought I'd always have to worry about if he opened the h file, like rook h8 ideas. So I didn't exactly.
Okay,
I
so
just
you
thought
don't,
king
you're
d8.
just thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bishop b5, take, and now, let's see, you've got this horrible pawn ready to run down. If he ever moves his queen, your bishop is perfectly placed. The knight can't trade for it. Let's see what happens. Knight came back again. At least the f5 square beckons. a4. You're coming in. Knight f5. Take, hold on. Woo. And we're not looking at queen takes b3 ideas too, even possible, right? No, it can't be good, but it's an idea. You don't play it. Yes. No, I'm just like, you're looking at brilliancies here anyway. You can use the A file, right?
Yeah.
Use the A file, excuse me. So you just came back with the queen.
Yeah, I
And
was
you-
really proud of this move.
You're proud of this move because you're holding d6
Yeah.
extra and you're playing rook a8. So you make a move that does more than one thing. Attacks and defends. Very nice. Okay, so that's knight. You're proud of that move, justifiably. Because he can't move his queen. He's pinned down. It's just such a hog-tied position. If only he has to get a rook to h2, but now you're really coming down and there's nothing to do. King d7 first.
Yeah,
Hold
just to
on.
stop rook h8.
What?
Just to stop like rook h8, if like rook a8, rook h8.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Don't let him do it. So he did this. And the idea is, well, now he's got to play like rook h7, though, right?
I mean, rook h7, I was calculating, like after king d7, rook h7?
After king d7, yeah?
Yeah,
He's
I
got-
thought
he's
I could
gotta
just
do
play
that.
rook a8, like rook h7,
And then
rook
check,
a8,
you can walk and
like
attack
king
his
e8.
rook.
Yeah.
And he's going to run out of checks.
Yeah.
That's the idea, because you're going to mate him, even though he's exposed your king.
Yeah.
There's no way to him to get a second piece in there quick enough. Very nice double-edged attack. I mean, okay. Yes, exactly. Look at that file. And he's going to resign very soon, I have a feeling. So he played rook h8 and now queen h2. What's going on? I mean, oh, just pull back. Right. Oh, you didn't. Did you have to do that? Yes.
No, well.
Yeah. Why? You do. Oh, phew. Yeah. That's kind of mean. But it's nice guys don't win in chess. I mean, you can be a nice. No, you can nice gals. You can be a nice young lady and still crush somebody at chess. This is a game. Don't take it personally. We're going to crush you, then we're friends again at the end. That's the way I always looked at chess.
Yeah.
I don't have to draw my friends. We can beat each other and be friends after. Big deal. Okay, let's go. You know, let's go. You know, it's a game. Okay, king a3, come down. Hey, well, didn't he know you were still covering c1? There was nothing he could do.
Yeah.
Wait, Chloe, I've got a question.
Yeah.
What was the idea of king a3?
Oh, I don't know. I was kind of shocked. I mean, he was on the verge of resigning, but
He technically resigned because he played a bit of king. He took this king slightly and he let go for like a half a second.
Oh, you mean we have a little, wait, we have some color commentary. That's what I wished. We had some of the people turning red, the people screwing a piece in. We can talk about the cunning way they screwed the piece into the board, like one opponents we've had in Europe. But, so we had Luke Hoffman ask the purpose of king a3. And we have to show Luke's great question. No, but here we go. So anyway, great. So he was, okay, so then came back.
Oh, he was to play king b2 back.
How about rook takes? Take, king take. Oh, he's still playing.
yeah, he played on till the very end. He's
But you know what? I'm never angry at that. Some people are very, they look up, they're furious. I say there are enough things. Why get angry at someone? You're going to win the game. Just beat them,
Yeah.
right? I mean, God, okay.
yeah, card.
All right, come with your knight to d5, but so what? Oh, checky. Bishop, oh. Okay, and the
Yeah.
game kept going, and you didn't stalemate, you won?
Yeah.
Great, so what do you take from this? What's your plan for the next round?
I'm probably just gonna like eat lunch and then I'll do some prep, but yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Like it's just just enjoy myself.
Great, and play your best, and who knows what could happen here,
Yeah.
right? Now you're going to move up maybe to board 4 or 5,
Yeah, maybe.
right? What's your score?
3.5, I think.
3.5 out of 5. Wow. You know, if enough strange things happen on the top boards,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll just concentrate on your game and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations, and
Thank
thank you for
you.
sharing it with us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. So games must be winding down. Let's see what we got here. John Hughes beat Eshan Hebar. Get John and Eshan up for an interview. But hold on, we'll see. Let me just check on what's going on, just so these important top boards have to be checked again, because Zeltsin was creating some chess art on, he's really been my favorite player if I had to be, throw my opinion in here in this tournament. I've really enjoyed his risk-taking and his strategies.
People that don't play Berlin with black are always appreciated.
Say it again?
People that don't play Berlin with black are always appreciated.
That don't play the Berlin?
Yeah.
Does he play the Berlin?
No.
Oh, right, that don't play the Berlin. Right. I mean, he's just, not cocky, he's confident, and he's coming up with a lot of creative ideas. And so here we go. This is the position now. Look at the white advantage. I was showing people this variation that when he sacked an exchange on f6, which he didn't have to do, when he played rook f6 here, oh, sorry, it was a while back.
There's not even any counterplay though for black.
When he gave away the a pawn, that was a beautiful move, because he just castled queenside. And there was a similar type of position where Daniel Johnston unfortunately castled queenside into an.
Yeah.
It was a terrible idea.
No, but like when you include in the Daniel Johnson game when he went a4, I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Like you can't go a4 and castle.
No, that's just what I was saying, because he was very slow. He had played h3, and it wasn't that type of position. He was much slower on the king side. And we analyzed the whole game with Bortnick. So we went through all that. But what I'm saying is, did you see this variation? If he had taken it, takes rook f8 up an exchange, queen d3, threatening to take on g6, rook takes f6, checkmate with the two bishops. That was Zeltsin's gorgeous idea. Look at this.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think about playing with f6.
I mean,
Very hard.
yeah, so anyway, here we go. Oh yeah, I want you to participate, but call out just because they don't hear you. So just raise your hand if you have a comment, and then we'll ask you, and I'll get your thing set up there. So let's see what happened. What really happened in the game. He didn't take the rook. He gave up a pawn. It's even pawn, sorry. And he said, okay, take on c2. The difference is there are not nearly as many open lines or rooks over there as Bortnick was able to get. So this is a much safer position. And look, this is one thing, Zeltsin just is not taking pawns. He's never taking pawns you feed him. And so, we're really enjoying this. I assume Zeltsin's game may be over. Did you win?
Yes.
Would you like to quickly take us through it?
Sure.
Great.
Rook f6 is crazy.
I saw this variation with queen d3 and queen a6 with a mate with the two bishops.
Yeah,
Was very sweet. And so what I'm liking about your games is just the sort of uncompromising creative style. And when you gave up the a4 pawn and just connected your rook
I
so you
felt
could play
morally
g4.
obligated after he played knight b6. Like, now that he attacks the pawn, now is when I must castle.
Right. And guess what? We looked at it all with Bortnick. So he's getting ready just in case. But he was up here. And I don't want to start at the beginning with you. I want to get into it a little, if you don't mind, just because time.
Okay. That's fair.
But what I've been saying is that we love being entertained by the move castles queenside when you played it.
Yeah.
Because we just saw how in this Gurganidze, because there was a game going on right next door to you where castling queenside was probably a losing blunder in the other Perk defense because of the open lines that were available. But here, because of the bottled up nature of these pieces, your G4 idea,
Yeah, so
right?
the engine is saying, like, just go c3, queen takes c3, castle king side, and outplay him on the queen side. And I saw that I could do this, and I thought, okay, black's position is miserable. I'm up on time, so this is the practical thing to do.
Guys, could you not talk? Could you not talk? Thank you, please.
I thought clearly the practical thing to do is to play castles, play c3, and I mean, White's just positionally winning everywhere.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay,
Yeah.
if castles queenside is legal, I have to do it. Like, I
Because-
can't see this and then not do it.
And it was still great because that is too slow, and you're just going to play G4, and your rooks are connected for that variation.
Yeah.
You're just smashing his king side apart.
But yeah, these positions are very difficult for humans to actually find the correct way to break through in. Engines are like, oh, everything wins.
Yeah, so he decided finally not to take it. And now the computer, like B3, just now you can't do anything, because if you ever play C5, your knight
Yeah.
gets to D4.
Yeah, I felt like it was morally incorrect after giving up the A4 pawn to now
Yeah,
cover
morally
every
incorrect.
square with B3.
Yep.
Yeah, well, of course I should have done it.
And also, no wimpy king B1 moves here either.
Well, King B1 after Knight A4 is actually worse. Because
Yeah,
Knight
because
C3 is
it's knight
check and-
C3 ideas, right?
Yeah. So,
So knight G5 was played.
yeah.
And
so this was
who
fine.
cares about the assessments here? So now,
Yeah.
but still, taking on E6 gave you advantages in many different ways, but you never wanted to do it
Yeah, it's like
because
for the engine, it's probably easy to just like win there somehow, or for someone good at chess and like me. But yeah, like he puts his king on D7, and I wasn't sure.
oh, okay, and D7, so he gives up the G6
yeah,
pawn.
like
I mean,
the idea that the computer is suggesting in the top line is you go knight G2, then you actually take the knight on H6, which is, and then you go G5, knight F4, bishop G4, and you can't defend the E6 pawn. This is very not simple to see.
there was another variation where you're attacking G6 and he plays king F7 after takes. But that's good for you in
Yeah,
all
that's
lines.
good. I thought he just gives up that pawn always with king D7 and a
Okay,
little slow, but okay.
and you said, so you didn't want to take that bishop because it's still a liability for him.
Yeah, and also like his king on D7 is safer once it. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Yeah,
difficult.
yeah. I mean, there's only so much time you have in a game. You got to,
Yeah.
it's fun. You want to be creative, but you got to be practical too. So you chose this.
Of course,
idea.
every move is a blunder now.
Yeah,
every move
like
is a blunder.
they liked, like we said, keeping the bishop on now. But so
I
what?
see.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I know.
yeah,
I
that's
hate
what-
looking at this, right?
I
Because there's so
didn't
much
realize that I could take on E6, go Queen D3, and then after
Yeah,
King
that's
D7,
what we were looking at.
I just go F4, F5. Like
Yeah, because you're
the
going
Queen
to
on
crack
D3
him
supports
open.
F5. Yeah, I should have done that then. Because of course I don't take on G6. That's what I wanted to avoid. Just Queen D3 taking on G6.
Yeah, right.
But I didn't connect Queen D3 with F4, F5. So,
After a rook on F1, or you can do it right away. It did,
yeah. I should take that bishop. Yeah.
But I can see how you don't want to give him any chances to bring these pieces into the game.
Yeah. Also, like maybe I'll go Knight F7. But yeah. Okay. So this
Well, the
was-
great thing about this is if he plays King F7, he's never going to get his
Yeah,
knight in the
yeah.
game. So he's
If he
not
plays
gonna
King
play
F7,
it.
he's made.
Yeah, right.
When he goes to D7, I thought he has these pawns around his king,
Yes, a shell.
but I can break him open with F4, F5, which I didn't.
Okay, but you decided
Yeah,
better
I tried
not
to
to
do it
have
right
to
away.
deal with a pawn on E6 when helping it repair itself.
Bishop D7, F5. I played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I miscalculated everything. He should probably.
Yeah,
just take
because he
twice
can.
instead
He
of-
should take it. We were both saying
Yeah. You gotta.
he should take that because he's got to get that activity.
Yeah.
But he
You
chose
didn't want to open
this.
things up. Mm-hmm. And then okay.
And now your advantage is huge again.
Yeah.
But right here, there's some pretty sharp variations that would have been pretty sharp. But what do you think of this position? If
I mean,
takes.
it's. I would have taken. I think he should have taken. But the reason he didn't take, so I take back. He takes with the knight, and then I was miscalculating everything. But I was probably going to go
Bishop
bishop
G4.
G4.
Yeah.
And the reason he
You're
didn't.
still better. It's looking towards you
The
anyway.
reason he didn't go for this is because maybe if you mess it up, you get mated. And after e6, you're positionally lost, but you don't get mated right away. And so, like, people are very getting mated averse. It's always very scary when
You're
you might
finding
get
that
mated.
as you climb the tournament ladder.
Yeah.
Made it averse.
Yeah.
So,
People don't like getting mated.
yeah, because a lot of this game is psychological. We know it. I
Yeah.
mean, and
And also in these kind of positions, like, humans always blunder. They're just
Right.
too complicated.
and F6 doesn't make sense here because Bishop F8.
Yeah, after F6,
You know,
everything is closed down.
so you
He's
did the right
doing
thing.
Very well.
Take.
Yeah, so
take,
here I didn't realize that this was just like
And now-
completely winning.
Rook F1 or what did you play?
Yeah, I played Rook F1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of Rook F1, what I was thinking about was Queen D3.
Yeah.
This is what I spent all my time calculating. Queen D3.
Castle's queen
Castle's
side.
queen
probably.
side. Knight
Yeah.
takes E6.
Yeah.
Bishop takes E6. Queen takes G6, forking the bishops.
Right.
And he goes C5. Now the queen on B6 defends the bishop on E6. And I just like didn't like it.
Yeah, here's what he looked at, guys. See, this is the thing. He didn't want to give him a chance to just bail out.
Yeah, and then I thought I'd go
Because
Knight E6.
this is what Bortnick said. He would give that pawn up.
No, I don't take
Oh, no,
that.
sorry, you don't
Definitely
take
not.
yet.
That we never take.
Yeah, right. First you play knight takes E6.
This is what I was calculating.
Bishop takes.
Queen
Now the
G6.
double attack. And
Now he
everything's
goes
covered.
C5.
And then he goes C5.
And this is like...
And it makes sense out of his position.
Yeah, so I even like I looked at at taking on c5 and then taking on g7, and I was like, okay, engine says it's +2, fine, but like it was so weird.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean,
And what I did is much more stable, like rook f1, rook f6.
yeah,
His pieces are more sad.
because there's only so far you can see ahead and see everything there.
Yeah.
So you play just take, rook f1, right. And now rook f6 is an idea, but other ideas, if he castles queen side,
Right, which he has to.
you played that anyway. Oh, okay, I was also, yeah.
Yeah, okay, knight g2, knight f4 is very reasonable,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you're gonna, but rook f6, what a cute idea. I mean, take, like you said, this comes to life in that queen d3, a6 idea. You saw
f6
that.
pawn becomes very strong. Yeah. I understand why he didn't take it, but he kind of had to.
Let's see, Brewington, hard to win, Zachary Tenema, obviously everyone wants to win. Wait, this is just not how you play chess, and this guy beat 2 GMs, easiest player to lose to your nerves. Chess players must stay calm and play solid, whatever. Okay,
Yeah,
go
okay,
on.
they have some drawn position, which Zachary Tannenbaum is trying to win because he has an extra pawn and it's opposite colored bishops, so they have knights on the board.
Okay, thanks for updating. So here we are, and if he takes right away, your idea was
Well, I
queen
take
d3, right?
Yeah, I mean, the f pawn is strong. My bishop can go to e5. I go rook f1. I go queen d3. His position
Right.
is just sad.
So instead he works around it,
Yeah.
defends,
He just,
even worse.
yeah. But
And
still
now rook
happens.
g6, and now
Bishop
you're
F4.
even pawns, he's saying.
Yeah.
And now, of course, don't play king b1.
No. Knight c3 we do not want to allow.
Yeah, and then you just, there, he goes here, and now you took over the file.
I was thinking about queen d3 first, but I thought this is good too.
Right. I mean, now we're in more normal moves. b3, and this
Yeah.
was funny. You just played, queen
now I go
d3.
queen d3.
Yeah,
He
All
takes
right.
on c2. He kind of has
he
to.
took, and now you go, where are you going with that knight?
Yeah. That's the way I like to defend. I don't. All my defensive moves attack something. So like b3 defends mate on b2, but it also attacks his knight.
But now he's saying, okay, you can't really take it yet because of queen b1,
Yes.
right?
But it also has nowhere to go.
But it has nowhere to go, so he's going to set up something, put a piece on b4. Queen b4 is the only move, or
Queen
what?
b4, knight takes c2, the queen's under attack, and I can actually take the knight next move.
Ah,
So he played the only move that saves the knight,
the only move that saves the knight is here. Beautiful.
which
And
is
this-
worse than losing
Oh,
it,
beautiful.
probably. But
Knight takes c2. What a nice little, gotta thank that nice little, like, come here and just take on c2. The way you reacted, I love it. I mean, it's just nice to see, not just stereotyped anything. I mean, this is great. So now the knight has to go back. Oh, wait, sorry. That's no fun. What's going on? I hate this. I don't want to give this away. So he goes back, and you went.
Oh wait, before that, go back. Yeah. So yeah, here we are. Go forward. Right. Knight takes c2. Knight b6. Okay, whatever.
That's so, just to show one quick thing here about this position. How to turn this position into a better structure for white. Very interesting series of moves. Almost all forced. And there you go. Okay, now rook here, you were saying?
Yeah. So knight g8. Okay, everything loses, so it's hard to play a good move.
Everything loses, he
Knight
says.
f7.
Knight
He
f7.
took. I took. Okay, after rook h7, I played a pretty ridiculous move. I mean,
Okay, after rook h7.
I played knight d6 check, which is obviously also winning. That's why I played it so quickly.
But knight
then I
g5?
realized rook g7. After rook g7, his rook on h7 is trapped. His bishop can never take on g7 because knight d6 wins his queen. It just ends the game on the spot.
Oh my. Wouldn't it have been nice to win that way?
Yeah.
Exactly. So crowned your. Boom.
I saw this after I played knight d6. Right
Look
after.
at the d6 square. And that bishop. Everything. You see why rook f6 was played.
Yeah, and his. Yeah, this often happens in games. People get scared of the wrong thing, and so their defense. They don't defend that stubbornly, but like
Right.
the computer is always scared of the right thing. So.
And now look, you just instead
Yeah,
did
instead I
this,
did
which
this,
sorry,
okay.
it's still winning, but
Yeah.
you've got the nice bishop.
Bishop
pawn
on
is
d7
fast.
blocks all of black's pieces from doing anything. So.
Yep. And it's funny, it's even material, but it's over almost. A4. Wait, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side of the board. Rook g7 now, right? Rook g8.
Yeah, I mean-
If takes take, yep, he had to.
And then I just decided to.
Oh, you You didn't take. You
Yeah.
let him take. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because now I
And you
cover the
took.
c4 square. And
Yeah.
I just trade.
And now you're covering c5. His bishop is buried by epaulettes on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Knight c4. Take. Wow, you just took a pawn for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
finally.
I took his last piece that had any hope of doing anything the knight. The
And
only
then-
piece that can ever do anything is his queen now, but one queen cannot do much damage.
And this, hold on, let me just see the idea. Oh, yes, you can just play a rook g8 check if he takes the pawn.
Yeah, and then I
And
can.
you're winning his rook on f6 if he puts his king up.
I'm probably even mating him somehow.
Rook f8, yeah, probably. Push. He's still hanging in there. That's the excitement of these games. Take. Check. King up.
Check.
Check.
And
King
here he
over.
resigned. No more checks.
Well, you know what I said about you? I said, he's humble but confident. And I hope you keep that up
Thank you.
as you go into the
I'm
exciting
not,
final
I'm not so
round.
much confident that I'll play good moves. I'm confident my opponent will play bad ones. I just have to play less bad than the opponent.
Exactly. I mean, any other things you want to share about this game or the next game? What's your psychological strategy? Or
Well, next game I'm probably playing black against the GM Harshit Raja. So I have to check what he plays, and I have to eat also. But yeah, I don't know. Just hope that things go well in the opening.
and great. And originally, where you're from again?
Well, I'm from Riverdale,
Oh.
North Bronx, but my parents are Soviet.
Right. I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Because my grandmother was Zeltzer, which is not so different from
okay,
Zeltsan.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you played the opening bishop f4, I thought it was an interesting choice because usually, I mean, it's kind of like pawn e5, pawn d5 structure. I guess I thought it's strange to put a bishop on f4. But I guess you had some idea of that.
The primary reason I did it was because the engine was saying to put the bishop on f4 in a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of similar positions. Not exactly, but without the move h5, the engine was saying go bishop f4.
Yeah.
But
Interesting. I thought it
okay,
was an interesting choice.
if you put it on e3, it gets attacked by knight on f5.
Yeah, yeah.
If you put it on g5, it gets a tempo with
So I
f6.
guess
You
even
put on
though it's
f4.
blundered by the pawn, it's still good.
All right, guys. Great seeing you. Why don't you talk about it in the hall? Excellent. Great. So we had that, and now we got an exciting final round coming. Let's see if there are any other games that we can talk about before we wrap up our first session. Such a low title is beneath him. Smoked salmon bagel. Yeah, when somebody declines, they know it's nothing special. Okay, we're seeing some interesting comments here. All right, now let's just take a quick look at all of them. Still some games going, but the boards are not as big. And I just got to say, we had a draw in... Great. We had a draw in Brian Weiss and Leif Pressman. Wow, that's pretty impressive by Leif Pressman to hold that. It was a really difficult ending. But it has to be a slight disappointment for Pressman, all these draws. So it's probably the championship is not for him this year. We have Alex Katz and Eugene Yu, which ended in a, I don't know, hold on. Draw, great. So here we have the top three boards. And so we're going to have a very exciting final round, which looks to me like it's going to be Raja Harshit versus, this is my guess, Joseph Zeltsin, who will be black. And it will be Mikola Bortnik versus, God, who would Bortnik play? Who would Bortnik play? Hold on. It's hard to say. I guess we'll find out when that round begins. Well, look, it's been a great afternoon, and I hope you've enjoyed our telecast. I learned a lot about chess today, and I'm really excited to see some really cool new talents coming up, like Chloe Gaw, who played a really nice classical Sicilian, showed preparation, showed maturity of popping her king around and finding that safe square where she could have allowed all these checks. And that one move, all she needed to stop checks, and then she would be mating her opponent. So a big upset for Chloe Gaw. And Joseph Zeltsin's tournament continues to amaze the maturity and growth of his play. We saw the sad end to Daniel F. Johnston's Cinderella story, though he can still place well with a final round win, so he's not going to pack it in. But so now we see the professional Bortnik, who will see how he can handle Joseph Zeltsin's creativity. And that's what I think, and no, or it might be Raja versus Zeltsin on board one. So either way, we're going to see some heavy hitters go at it in this final round. And Alexander Lenderman, a very strong grandmaster who played in two U.S. championships?
10 U.S. championships.
How many did you play in?
10.
10? Alexander Lenderman played in 10 U.S. championships. Oh my, excuse me. And this man will be the perfect to guide you through the heavy hitters. I thought maybe a lot of stuff would be done by this round. You might see some draws in the final round. I don't think. I think with Zeltsin's play, I think you're going to see some serious heavy hitters. You want to join us? Or
Yeah, I guess I can.
You don't have to start yet, but you can join us for a wrap-up.
Yeah, sure, I'll talk.
Because I know, you're getting ready
Yep.
and preparing for the telecast to end all telecasts.
Yeah, I definitely expect a lot of blood in the last round, simply because it looks like Joseph Zeltsin is going to play Raja Harshit. Raja Harshit is going to be white. He's going to be in a must-win. And that's actually deja vu all over again, because that's exactly the kind of situation he was in his last big tournament against none other than yours truly. And guess what? He was successful. He did win his last round,
Raja?
also with white.
He told me that.
It was he, and also he had 4. I had 4.5. I needed just a draw to win the tournament. The only difference was there I was a sole leader. Here, Zeltsin is tied also with Bortnik. So Bortnik will, end up playing someone else. And so I guess that means Zeltsin might also want to win, although a draw can clinch to him either share first or maybe at the very least share second or clear second. So draw for Zeltsin would still be quite good, but Roger will definitely need to win, and he will give him chances. And as I already witnessed myself, he has excellent opening preps, so that's definitely a game, to keep an eye on. And I'm not really sure who else.
And Raja was telling me he was upset by a much lower ranked player in the first round of that
he made
tournament.
a draw. Yeah, he made a draw.
Oh, a draw.
draw.
Okay, not upset, but a draw. Yeah, so, but what we're having interesting is that Zeltsin, as you said, is 4 out of 4. And I don't know what your opinion on him is. I'm very impressed with his games.
No, he's very strong. I
Yeah.
mean, I've played him training games, I've played him in tournament games. He's a very strong player, and he's someone who's capable of beating anyone, especially with white on a good day. So, yeah, he's a very tough opponent. And, yeah, actually...
To me, he's like a locomotive train running through these players.
It will actually be interesting who Mikola
Yeah.
Bortnik plays, because I think
Right.
it's not clear, because I think it's pretty clear that, well, actually...
Will it be Katz or you? Probably.
Well, actually, there's a possibility that Mikola Bortnik might play Raja, although the colors don't match. Because the thing is, because otherwise, there's only one person with 4, I think, which is where it gets very complicated, right? So one of the 4.5s will actually play at 3.5. So that's where it really gets a bit... So actually, theoretically, I think... No.
Bortnik can't
yeah.
play Zeltsin because they already played.
No, Bortnik won't play Zeltsin, but the question is, who will Raja Harshit play? Will he play...
Sorry, I was wrong. He's not 4 out of 4. He's 3.5 out of 4. Go on.
Yeah, so the question is who will Raja Harshit with 4 out of 5 play? Will he play Mikola Bortnik, who is higher rated, but they don't match colors, or will he play against Joseph Zeltsin, which seems more natural, right? Because if Bortnik plays Raja, then Zeltsin drops
play?
to a 3.5, which is, again, it's unclear whom. So yeah, this
You mean
gets
a 3?
no 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah. Out of
3.5
right,
out of
right.
Because the thing is, a lot of these guys, they drew. Like Brewington drew against Zachary Tannenbaum, Eugen Yu drew against Alexander Katz. So actually,
Right.
there are a lot of draws, so it gets a bit messy. And it's really unclear what the pairings will be. But if I had to guess, if I had to predict, I think it will be Brewington Hardaway with white. Oh, sorry, Mikola Bortnik with white against... No, actually, no. I think, wait, I think I'm wrong, actually. Mikola Bortnik had 2 whites in a row. which means that he's actually due for another black. Yeah, so actually I think Raja Harshit will be white against Bortnik. He will be white against Bortnik because
Interesting.
Bortnik is the higher rated anyway. And Zeltsin is gonna play someone...
He'd have to play the highest rated.
Cats, probably. Yeah, Zeltsin will probably play Cats, yes. Zeltsin will be black against Cats.
Yes.
Cats will be 1 point behind. And Mikola Bortnik will be black again because he had 2 whites. He got double whites round 3 and
Double
4.
whites.
So he's due another black, and he's going to play Raja Harshit.
Interesting
So-
how you calculated that out.
So once
Figured
again,
that
it
out.
will be a situation where Raja Harshit needs to win, and let's see if he can do it again. The win on demand. And if he wins, I guess he might win the tournament if Joseph doesn't win his game with black
Right.
against the strong I am. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see what happens. Definitely going to be a lot of blood. Definitely don't expect any quick draws there, right? Like because Alexander Katz or whoever plays Zeltsin, they must win. Like 4 points is gonna get nothing. So you must try to win to try to get 4.5. And meanwhile, and Raja Harshit probably also wants to win because 4.5 isn't going to be that much. So you want to try to win first place. So and he's going to be white. So definitely you expect the top 2 boards are going to be fights, and that's good for me. It's good for the content. It's good for you guys, for the fans, and it's just excellent news for everyone. And I'm looking
Because
forward.
of the difference in both top boards players score. One's a half point behind the other.
Exactly.
So you don't expect any quick draws.
Exactly.
Unless a player's a little bit afraid of tangling.
But I don't think they would be afraid because,
Right.
okay, Alexander Katz was white. He's like actually similarly rated, and he must win. There's nothing to be afraid of. A draw is nothing. There's absolutely no point of making a draw here for him. And
It seems like Katz has climbed his way up in this tournament rather than been sort of at the top like Zeltsin has.
right, exactly, yeah. And he had some shaky games as well.
Yeah.
But of course, in any one game, he can play spoilers role and play
But
a
as
great
far
game.
as form goes, I see Zeltsin is in the best form
Yeah.
right now.
Zeltsin and Bortnik, yeah, they're both playing insanely well. Meanwhile, and I guess Bortnik, Raja Harshit will obviously try to beat Bortnik, and let's see if he'll be able to do it. It'll be-
Interesting. So as far as we know, the tournament, we don't know who's going to be champion yet, but it's going to be someone on those top 2 boards, or could it possibly even be someone on board 3?
No, it cannot be mathematically.
Yeah.
It's 100% guaranteed that the
Yeah.
winner will have at least 5 points. That is 100% guarantee because we'll have a game where person with 4 will play a person with 4.5, meaning one of the people will definitely have 5 points.
Yeah, I should have realized that.
100%.
Silly
So
question.
4.5 will not win first place, but 4.5 could still get a decent prize. So definitely, if you have 3.5, you have a lot to play for. Not to mention there might be class prizes and whatnot. So
Now, interesting, in line for is there a best woman prize in this tournament? Okay, no.
I don't
Look,
think I don't, and I think if there was, I don't think Arena would have withdrawn having 2.5 out of 4.
Good point. But Chloe Gao is definitely in a big position right now. I mean, she had a really impressive game against a solid master.
Yeah, I saw it.
And
The
she
kid,
won it
yeah.
nicely. And
Yeah.
she showed some good prep and knowledge of the classical Sicilian.
Yeah, I saw that game
went
briefly.
over
I think she was worse at some point, but then she fought back like she always does.
According to everything, she wasn't. According to theory, like she wasn't ever worse. But maybe there was one.
There was a
moment.
brief
Yeah.
1 or 2 moments,
Yeah.
but I mean, she's a great fighter, so obviously she's a star of the tournament
Yeah,
so
and
far.
what happened was her opponent did one retreat, this knight h5 to g3, which gave her all the initiative, and then a blunder right after it was c4, giving
Yeah.
her a pawn.
Like American says.
Yeah, c4, and but before that, there were a lot of theoretical. She showed a good knowledge of that rouser position,
Well,
including
that's
one
also-
position where an endgame would have come.
Well, that's
where-
also what
yeah.
her coach Arena plays all the time, Rouser, so they've probably studied
Yeah.
it together at some
And I was saying what I liked about it is that when you're playing the classical Sicilian, you don't have to know as much as you do if you play a Najdorf with
It's
black.
more of a system opening,
Yeah.
although
Yeah.
there are still lines that are sharper and concrete and you have to still know them, but it's not quite as demanding as a Najdorf, I agree. Or Najdorf, there's like something like 18 moves that white can play against the Najdorf
Almost
after the move
anything.
a6. Yeah, literally almost any move is like playable against a6.
It's a better opening, but it also demands more, so it's a more professional player's
Exactly,
opening.
exactly,
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
So what do we have? So we've got her. She's going to play on a higher board now, though.
Yeah, she's
So
definitely.
who is she going to play?
Well, it's going to be
Chloe
very hard to predict. Like
Gao. She's got 3.5.
the 3.5s. Yeah, there's a lot of people with 3.5, so it's going to be hard to predict who will play whom
Right.
in that group.
And is there an under? These are U.S. right under 2,300 prize or something like that. There's first, second, third, fourth. I forgot what all the prizes are. Are there 4?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the prizes are, but
Okay, well-
I know that first is 5,000, second is 2,500, and I think third might be 1,500 or 1,000.
Four places and under 23, under 21.
Oh, so there's under 2,100 USCF.
Like I always said, if you're in chess for the
And
money,
Chloe is
you're in the wrong game.
2,056.
Sorry.
Oh, so Chloe is
But
has
if you're
almost
first
sealed the
place,
prize. I think.
only.
I think Chloe almost sealed it. Although it's not clear, there might be some people with 2 points.
She'll take a quick jump.
Well, who will give her?
And so, all right. So so it's going to be very, very exciting last 2 games.
Yeah.
And we have, as we said, Alexander Lenderman will take you through those. But so, how does it feel commenting instead of playing in these events? I know you're sort of a cut above this event from what your past experiences, but now you're.
Yeah, no, I was already having hesitations about playing from the very beginning, as I explained yesterday in the comments. In the beginning, I was my co-commentator Akash Miduri asked me that question also. Have you considered playing? And I definitely considered playing, even before I got the commentary offer. And I was like, just not sure if I want to play. I would have had to miss work.
Yeah.
In order to play, or maybe take a bye, so I didn't really want to do that. I was already like doubting, in this strong field, how good are my chances to win. But then when I got offered the commentary, then made my decision much easier.
Of course, it was easier for me, But I was considering I was going to play too if I didn't comment. But that's great because you've accomplished so much. So all these people are still working to accomplish things, and you already got U.S. championships, participant. It's like chess is always waiting whenever you want to play.
Yeah, of course I can always play if I
Yeah.
want to, but now I feel like I got weaker and the competition got stronger, and my form is just not as it used to be because I'm not as much of a professional anymore because I work with kids all the time. So very busy with coaching rather than keeping up to date with my openings or training on my calculation or my physical shapes. So, so my level has, because of those factors, my level has dropped, and everybody else around me seems to be getting better. They have the tools to get better, like Chessable, YouTube videos and things like that. And so...
Well, speaking of physical preparation, let me just add that my physical preparation is reaching the hand to the donut box and then putting the donut to my mouth. So, it's been good training. But I don't know if it would have worked. It worked for Gingy, I think. long time ago.
Well, I guess the Gingy is an interesting question.
Sorry,
because
Gingy, I just did a little joke.
maybe he had the talent of becoming world champion, but he only became, strong GM. So
What I mean is physical preparation is good, but I've seen plenty of guys who weren't in that good shape be some pretty great chess players.
Well, like I said, they
spending
could
time at the board.
Maybe
like
they could have been
Yeah.
even better.
You're
right? It's
exactly
always hard to
physical
say.
shape doesn't hurt in anything, but as you know, it's the time you put in at your work and study that really does it, right? Physical shape is great, but I've seen so many huge guys crush body beautiful, like strong young guys at chess. Because
Well, obviously, I mean that's
a
an
different
important
game.
factor, but there are many much more important factors.
Exactly, and I could talk forever about a lot of stuff, so as you know, that's probably why I'm here. Bortnik plays black on Raja Katz. These are little comments. Withdrawals are still coming in, so it's impossible to predict the lower boards. And somebody said something about a joke, Nathan. What does they say? Because I don't know if they say that's not funny or it was good. Here, let's go back. Here we go. Oh, here we go. I'll try to scroll down. Joseph interview, big action. Aditya Das beat Robert Lee. Oh yeah, I should read these results. Legalization of Queen Castle makes chess great again. Legalization? Is that like legalization of marijuana? I mean, Chloe Gao I've seen her at a local tournaments. Okay, yes. Harshit Raja beat Liam Putnam, we know that. Hughes, Cooper Wang beat, hold on, I should be reading. Joseph Seltzer. Can you ask Joseph why he don't have FM title? Well, he didn't bother with it. He knows IM is coming. I don't know. Nathan, ask Joseph if he wants to give me $100 for FIDE Master. It means a lot. No, sorry. Ask if he wants me to give him $100 for FIDE Master. It means a lot. Wow. Well, what did FIDE Master get me? I don't know. I mean, all it got me was people made me want to be IM, so I didn't have to keep explaining to people what FM meant. Anyway, just kidding. It's great. I mean, I take pride in at least my 2300 FIDE when I was playing in Budapest. That's what got me that. So let's see what we got. Can we have Leaf's interview with Brian Leaf Pressman? Well, it's getting a little late, and it was sort of a disappointing result with another draw. So, you know, I'm sure if, you know, right now we're pretty much done with the interviews for now because we're getting ready for round 2. But I love both. I mean, I love Leaf a lot. There's not much to talk right here, but I'm impressed that he saved a really tough-looking ending in that game. Can Eugene and Alexander Katz do an interview? Late? I missed what they said, but hopefully whoever said the joke liked it. I can't seem to get this thing to scroll without going through dozens of posts at once. How can I just get this to go down slowly, this comments? It's not moving. If I
Click on this. Yeah, and then use the wheel.
Oh, thank you. Hey, see, this guy's like, my tech partner here is so great. Any questions? Okay, no problem, hang on. See what's going on. What he said, somebody said about a joke.
One question. This is hard.
Yeah,
Well, what am I playing? Am I playing Cats?
Actually, I think you're playing Cats.
Playing Cats?
Yeah.
And then Nicola's playing White.
Yeah, because I forgot Mikola is due another black because he had 2 whites in a row.
but that's
And
his
it's high
estimate.
rate.
We still don't know officially.
Now, at
Right?
this point, I'm 95% sure.
So, am I white or black against Cats?
I'm black.
Black, right? Okay, that should be fun. Cats games are always fun.
Oh, somebody's doing a triple with a color.
Here yeah, okay.
Cats.
It's a joke, Nathan. I don't know what they meant. I'm just going through some comments, kind of just listen. Bortnick plays black on Raja. Katz has white against Seltz, somebody's guessing that.
Black against Cats.
All right, then I should read the results. Let's read the full results. Well, wait. I can't see. No, let me look. I'm just going to look online. It's easier because it's bigger. Daniel Johnston lost to Mikola Bortnick. Joseph Zeltsin defeated Grant Xu. Tell me if I say it wrong. Liam Putnam lost to Harshit Raja, ending the local heroes run. Eugene Yu, Grandmaster, drew Alex Katz. Katz gets some confidence back, climbing back into the top. Brewington Hardaway drew Zachary Tannen.
One more, yeah, Eugene Yu is not a grandmaster, he's a candidate master.
Sorry, thank you, CM. I misread GM. The CM title, I never saw it before. It's something new.
Yeah.
I kind of think wondering why even have it, you know?
It's
like-
2200 FIDE.
Okay. FM Leaf Pressman drew Brian Weiss. Right? I was surprised you didn't win that. Brian Weiss had a beautiful bishop with
Yeah, I was looking
Yeah.
for ways to win, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, anyway, good save for Leaf Pressman. It's finishing up. Yeah, I'm just announcing all the results. Carter Ho lost to Chloe Gao. James Marsh beat Krish Bandari. John Hughes defeated Eshan Habar. Kiran Nasta drew Shahana Aravindakshan. Luke Hoffman defeated Evan Rosenberg. That's a big win for him. Ryan Zhu drew Christopher Chabris, a famous author with, I believe, a Nobel Prize to his credit, and who used to run the Harvard Chess Club and did a lot of great things for that. He's a really well-known intellectual and a
Yeah, that's
thinker.
kind of what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, Christopher Shipwright. Serge Adelson lost to Brian Lynn. Richard Bonin hung in there, did not withdraw, gave the young Lions a chance to play, even though he may have been eliminated from any prize. He played, and that means a lot, against Aiden Teitelman. Andrew Fang defeated Theodore Kachere. If I say it wrong, feel free to correct my pronunciation. Kyle Dong edged out Nkosi Nkololeko. I'm pronouncing that correctly because he told me. Joseph Otero lost to Aritro Chakravarti. Robert Lee lost to, sorry, I already said that. Robert Lee.
No, yeah.
Robert Lee lost to Aditya Das, getting back on the winning track. Spencer Chin, no result against Akash Maduri, but I think Akash won. Chen Chuan Ling, 9 years old, went to 2 out of 5, beating Camelia Sharuda. Wow, that's a good win for him. Connor Wang, 1893, defeated Harper Wallace. And Hemavikas had a full point bye. Dorothy Teasley, a bye. And Chase Knowles, a bye. Thank you so much for being an audience there and sharing your text with me. And Alexander, you're in good hands with Alexander. See you at the next broadcast, or maybe the next tournament.
Thank you.